And from here, as you can see, you have a scoring system here. Right now I have an F because for one, I don't have enough word, don't have enough headings, no paragraph. You can click on show analysis. This is where we kind of have some suggestion in terms of SEO structure for you to write. And then just simply writing. The first thing you can start is create an outline and look at the outlines. The first thing you can start to utilize our AI assistant is just simply click on this button. We build a specific content template, we'll call it bullet to paragraph. And as you click on those, we'll actually turn this bullet into a long paragraph for you to use as the paragraph that you do. But sorry, before this, I would actually just click copy to editor. As I copy to editor, you will start seeing the structure of your content kind of lay out in front of you, right? And so the first thing is, click on this, I will generate this content and see what AI kind of come up for me as the first paragraph. All right, you have 133 words. Getting things done is hard. We know that the best way to get more of it done and to get more things done better is by planning ahead. Yet we still do not plan ahead often as we could be doing. There are a ton of productivity hacks out there to help you avoid this conundrum. Some good, some bad, or at least overhyped. But one thing really they all have in common. They don't work if you don't use them. If you just read another listicle about how great your life will be once you start using Trello, project management instead of Evernote, but then never actually sit down, transfer everything onto an organized list, Trello, because that's making progress me, in other words, ... Wow, this is run out of the time. So actually really good. And I feel like this actually quite fitting with the opening of the paragraph itself of this. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it right here. Right? So I kind of right now have a first paragraph to for prioritization and planning productive. I could actually simply highlight this and have an AI shortcut to learn from this paragraph and write for me in the next part of this. In other words, you're going to have to work on some actual organization. Let's get started. This is great. So, ta-da, right away, I already have my first paragraph kind of written out for me, right? I will not go into the details here yet. What I usually do is I will actually go again into the outlines and do the next list in the next headings. Simply click here and click generate. What I'm trying to do is, first of all, get a general consensus of what AI will churn out in terms of the content and whether or not I will like what I see. And I put them all into this list. And as I grow the content higher, then I will go into one more time, come back and start rereading and start adding on content. Either I write it myself, I can add that from other competitors, I can use text rewriter template to rewrite some of the stuff and then copy into here, or I can just simply use, you know, our template in directly in here to continue the writing. So let's see if we have make a list the night before. Yeah, you are likely familiar with the idea that planning ahead can save you time and frustration. But did you know it can help you manage stress? The night before a big test or an important presentation, for example, make yourself to a list of everything that needs to get done, so you have less on mind in the morning. This will give your brain some space for stressful thoughts, so it's ready to work 100% once work life start up again. This is actually really good. I really quite like the AI quality lately, which we have been improving. Oh, by the way, we're working on some huge improvement on the quality of the AI. So the next phase we are building is, first of all, we call them fine-tuning. So the AI will be able to kind of generate a much higher quality of the content for you. Secondly, we probably will be able to introduce the concept of tone, where you can actually choose different kind of tone as you are writing, you know, be it convincing, be it cheerful, be it trustworthy, be it critical, practical. So you choose different kind of tone, and with that you can actually control the sentiment of the content. And lastly, it will be multi-language support as well. So those are all the exciting things that we're working on right now. We actually got a new AI engineer to focus purely on this, to help this as good as possible for you. You'll be less running start every minute you spend in a calm headed. I'm not sure how AI come up with this, but okay, let's do it again with the next paragraph. Then return. No, close this. Just do this. Wake up early. Getting up early is a great way to give yourself more time in the morning. It can even be as little as 15 minutes. But having that extra time give you flexibility in your routine and help really reduce stress during the day. When you have an hour or two before work, you can use it to get things done that what more important to your job, like reviewing projects, but don't necessarily need to happen at work. Things like making business call or booking flights. These leave less important tasks for after hours when there are less pressure on your schedule and reduce the amount of stress related to get something done yesterday instead of just taking care when it needs attention. This is not AI writing, man. This is like human writing. It's I don't think I can even write this. I'm gonna put this in here as well as another paragraph that we have. Bam. Now, do you get the idea? So what I just did is I just used one single template to kind of get right away a really good head start in the keyword that we built. Right? I already cover about 664 words in just what I say about 10 minutes. I could do it a lot faster if it wasn't representation. And I keep doing this for all the other paragraphs. And imagine, this is what the AI do with me not really focusing on the content itself. Me without any preparation. But imagine if you know your topic. You know exactly what you're trying to write. And you know what your competitor are and what they are trying to write. You will make such a great paragraph under each of these headings. And the better and the more details of the paragraph you have here, the higher the quality the AI will actually churn out the content for you. The idea here is I'm trying to provide a platform where you spend more time on planning and spend less time on writing. Because if you spend more time on really high quality planning and putting here the kind of paragraphs that make sense and it cover majority of the things you want to cover, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just need to have the right idea. You can type into it, make the list the night before. Maybe use like, if you have time the night before, it would be great to plan ahead, right? Planning the night before will give you less stress in the morning when you just wake up. Things like that. You just kind of just putting random, paragraph that you think is really good, is really right, is common sense, put in here and leave the hard work of putting them into a longer paragraph for the AI. The way we build it is that if you train them well, the AI always work on really well training. If you train them well, they will provide you with really high quality content. So after you're done with all this, the next step is to just kind of look back and play around with what you have. We can list the night before. Either you can just right click on AI shortcut. You can either do write for me. You can actually do different transition like addition, contrast, sequence, after conditions, the result, therefore summary all in all. Let's say addition, for example. Click generate and right away it will start with generate. In addition, try to get some exercise and take a hot shower bath. It will help you relax and focus in the morning, which is always a good thing. Sometimes the AI will generate this kind of stuff. And if you use AI tool, you will know this is a very common thing. But it's not something too serious, right? You can also highlight this, or we have two options when you highlight things. So when you highlight it, you click on AI shortcut, there's a button here, or there's a highlight here, it say only highlighted text will be used as input. What it means is that we actually only take the highlighted part as the input for the AI to learn. But if you don't highlight anything, click on this and you click transition, all text above will be used as input. It means that we will actually take the entire content from this point all the way to the top as the input for the AI. So let's say I click write for me here. Right familiar means that the AI will learn all of this from the top, and then they start writing. There, it will actually have content that continue to write for you down there. You know, some of it is really good, and you find that it's really helpful for the content that you have. Some of it are not. But what I'm trying to present to you is there's two ways for you to teach and train the input as well. So there's flexibility in the way you will choose what input you want to put in and what input you want to take out. So that one of the way for you to utilize this. Another way is just simply turn on AI Assistant, and you click create new here, and you have a playground, right? And in playground here, you have a few category of templates that you can play around with. First is auto write, meaning that our AI will help you auto write whatever you have. Let's say paragraph introduction. You like to copy this, you put in here, you'd like to have an introduction for this paragraph. Our AI will actually look for stress is something everyone experiences at some point in their life. While the effect of stress is different for expression, doesn't mean that you can't do anything about it. The following tips will help you manage stress and improve your overall mood. Planning ahead and setting goals can be a great way to manage stress, but when it comes to school, work, and other tasks you need to complete in a short period of time, the best thing you can do is set yourself success by taking yourself off and let your body relax. This is really great. I'm going to copy this, and I just put it right on top of this. And that, it's going to be my paragraph introduction. So things like this, making your writing a lot easier by the way we build it, by assisting you, right? You can create more. You can just turn on here again and just click on this and play around again with paragraph answers. You can write a certain questions and then put your paragraph long answer in here. Next paragraph, if you already have a paragraph here, click copy and you choose next paragraph. The AI will learn from these paragraphs that you have and provide you with the paragraphs that go after this, right? Some people find it helpful to break down the process of buying home. Oh no, not this one. Here, make sure you take a hot shower bath. This is a whole chick can relax work. The night before big test, important presentation makes more. Make sure a to-do list of everything you need to get done. Oh, this is good. So I can just copy this, put it in here, and right away, you have yourself content for the next paragraph. You can continue to keep on doing this by exploring different templates that we have. There's text finisher, there's block introduction. Text finisher meaning that if you find that it's so hard, if something that you haven't found that, oh, I didn't really quite like the finishing of this yet, you can just use text finisher. For example, explaining definition or explain why. These are all the templates that you can use to write for you. We don't want to create 100 different templates. Why? Because it will create a problems we call paradox of choices. It's like when you go shopping nowadays. You can't really feel happy when you buy certain stuff because you have so many choices, right? And when you don't have any, when you have a lot of choices, you actually turn out to be quite unhappy about it. So our approach is to try to build things that we think that matters, and to build with really high quality. I know that our AI, because we are sort of like behind on some other player, but it's just a matter of times. As you can see, a lot of the things which our AI are able to do now is already quite advanced, and it will continue to improve in whatever, probably very near future. Again, you also have outlines and rewrite template here to play around with. So keep on doing this until you finish your article. And right away if you want to reach about 1,005 words or 2,000 words, it's probably a no-brainer, like for me by this time, which it just took me about 15 minutes. It can take you a lot shorter when you start writing. And once you're done with this, you could go into keyword and you start to scan through. And this part you could actually ask a freelancer to do is to input this keyword into your content and making sure that the input makes sense. Some part will say someone and you want to add someone in there, blogs, for example, you want to put them in there. So it's this work of putting it back and forth between writing your content, including the keyword in there, and making sure that you highlight all the necessary keyword into your content, right? this part, I want to also share with you some quite exciting updates that we might be doing soon. First of all, it will be the ability to find your internal linking system. For example, let's imagine you link our WriterZen with your Google Search Console. What we can do is we will actually scan your Google Search Console for all the keyword and all the URL that you already get ranked. And then also we scan again on the content that you just finished writing. And we'll highlight for you all those keywords that appear in your content that already are available in your Search Console. And you just simply click add and we'll add them for you. Another things for external link is, let's say you find, let's say some of this keyword here that you're targeting, you want to do external linking to it. There could be a button here for you to click on it, and we will actually show you the top 10 search result of the keyword. And so you could just simply kind of scan through that and add on the links which you like, and it will appear in here. So those are some of the things which we have been imagining and play around with our head. And there's a lot of other plugins like doing content calendars where you integrate directly with WordPress. And so when you're done with this, you can simply just sync them into your WordPress and set a calendar, and the exact time we will do the rest of the work for you. You didn't really have to actually go into WordPress to do any of this. You don't even have to copy and export this. Just leave that work to us. So some of the things, you know, it's all kind of playing around with our head. But anyway, sorry, I kind of go off topic. But what's next is you find yourself, for example, another thing is we could actually link you to a platform to provide you with photos, image, and help you with writing the description of the image as well. So when you integrate your image in here, you just have everything complete in one shot, and then put it on your WordPress or whatever web CRM that you have. Oh, quite exciting things to think about. We love thinking about new ideas. We love to think about how it works and whether or not it's something that our user would use. Anyway, scan to once you're done with everything, you can do a quick plagiarism check, and let our tool kind of do the work. If it doesn't really have any plagiarize, or if it does have some plagiarize, because since it's AI generate content, you can just fix it right there, so you don't have to actually export it to any other third-party tool to do that, right? Yeah, and basically that's it. That's it for me usually when I do. Oh, there's plagiarizing. Quick view. You see, they detect that I kind of copy this keyword in this block. As you see. Oh, because I use this under here. So we already highlighted for you. Yeah, as you can see. Just click on and you will be able to right away detect what statement in here that are plagiarized. And if you remember, I copied this from our competitors, and right away our plagiarized system saw that and kind of show it onto our content. So yeah, but most of the content which written by the AI are not. So that's the good news, right? Yeah, so that's it. That's it for today. I just wanted to go through the details for this. For the next part, let me share with you a bit on some of the exciting news, and we get to a Q&A. I'm sorry we kind of go a bit over time, but I hope that's okay with you guys. By June, we're planning for team function to launch, and with our team function, you'll be able to add users first of all to your account. For everyone who bought our either AppSumo or subscription plan, there will be a limit. Let's say if you buy one code, you may not have the team function. We're not sure yet, but there will be a difference between each bracket of a plan. So usually team function will be something that available for later bracket of plan. We're not sure the amount of user will set in. We'll need to calculate all the costs and everything first, and then we'll have more details put out. Another thing you will be able to do is the ability to work with your freelancer. You will be able to add your freelancer into content planning as almost like to manage your project. And you see who are writing what and what are their progress, and you can show who will be adding in, and then you can kind of take them out once they're done with the job, and so on and so forth. So those are very exciting things. I think a lot of people are looking forward. Another very exciting things that we're working on, like I said, is the ability to sorry, to improve the quality of the AI generation. as well as the multi-language support and the tonality of the AI itself. And then there will be some major upgrade on golden filter coming up in probably September. I think September that'll be our output for that. And for next year, we'll do a lot of integration with our tool. So slowly, I think you will start to see our vision come to place, right? And this come back to the part where I share a lot earlier in a lot of our webinars, is that you really have to give some time for a product to grow. And for us, we always take the long-term view, right? Everything needs time, and so is our tool. And we want to take our time to realize our vision slowly, and by making sure that every features and every product that we launch are high quality and that's something that you use and never get too many bugs. Right? I don't think a lot of people appreciate the fact that you can always rely on how reliable WriterZen is. Right? Anytime you click on anything, it will load exactly the way it's supposed to. Sometimes it takes a bit longer because the amount of people using our tool are increasing quite a bit now. But majority of time, you can find that our tool are quite reliable, and our tool have a purpose and meaning, and there's a story that deepen behind it, and that's what we're trying to build, making such a complicated topic to be something so simple and so enjoyable to do. And that's what I really want to kind of infuse in the way we build our tool, and I want to infuse in the way we train and we share our knowledge to you guys, our users. So yeah, I think that's that for today.